Well, hello. I thought that it might be cool to show off my Stratocaster, or whatever you want to call it, because it's not really a Stratocaster. I mean, it is, but just a little different. Let's get some power going. Woo! Woo! Alright, well, I built this puppy, bought all the parts online. Took me 15 years. Just kidding. No, I went online and I bought a Fender Mexico body to replace the piece of crap Squire one that I had, because at the time I didn't know anything about guitars really, and I just kind of wanted to build my own instrument. So I took that body off and I ended up using that for a project later down the road, and yada yada yada, sold it, blah blah blah. But I built my own guitar, and I used to have humbuckers, or a humbucker in the bridge. The middle was the same, and I also had a Telly neck pickup, and yeah, I built that myself, used it for a number of years. And then I realized one day, this guitar does not sound like a Strat should, and it doesn't sound good like a Strat should. Because I've always kind of been a fan of Strats, but I realized when I had made that, I took away a lot of what makes a Strat great, and some of the things that people really like about them. And so I decided to rebuild it with the knowledge that I have now. Well, I mean, I did this a few years ago, so the knowledge that I had then, and yeah, I built probably the best Stratocaster that I've ever had. I mean, I've got a really nice one back here that I play a lot that we'll talk about too, but this one's just fantastic. It's one of those things that I never realized how great this would be. I mean, don't get me wrong, the configuration it had before was great for each pickup well, besides the middle pickup didn't sound very good, and most of them don't, but that's not what they're for really anyways. But I mean, I had a really nice bridge pickup, but it didn't match a Telly pickup at all. It just didn't sound very good, and especially with that middle pickup, I mean, it wasn't doing itself any favors. So I went ahead and I bought some new parts for it, and I did a little bit of a different design with this. So without further ado, let's talk about what I did, because I think it's pretty cool, and I think it made a really cool Stratocaster. So what I did is, obviously you see that I have a Strat pickup here, and it's pretty tough to match a Strat pickup to the sound of the pickups with your Telly, unless you do what I did, which is I always really liked the sound that the Texas Special pickups that they make. I think they sound great. I think they sound great with Strats. I think they sound great with Tellys. But I'm a big fan of the Telly bridge pickup and the Telly neck pickup. I think they sound great. I even have a Telly, but I'm not the biggest fan of the control layout or the overall look of the guitar. I mean, don't shoot me, but I'm not. So I've always really liked the Stratocaster more, so I decided that I was going to try to put those pickups in a Strat, and then I bought separately a Texas Special middle pickup for a Strat, and just kind of prayed that it would be reverse wound to these for the hum canceling, which, lo and behold, we made it. So it is reverse wound, so I do have that hum canceling, which is really cool. Just kind of a neat little thing. And I'll tell you what, I thought I was going to lose a lot of those Strat tones when I did this, but I did not. And if you listen, oh, that sounded bad. Let's do something else. Whatever, you get the point. I kept that Strat sound. But I'll tell you what, I didn't want to just do a normal layout with this because I always felt like having 2 tone pots was a bit redundant. I mean, I know you can get different tones and you can do different things, but I'm just not one of those people that messes around with the tone a whole lot. I mean, I'll use it a little bit, but I use it mainly to roll off some of the tone on a pickup, and I've never really utilized having the 2 there. So I found a schematic online for a blender pot, and you know, when I wired this all up, I wired it with the blender in there, which I thought would be really cool. Now, with the blender being there, it will blend in the bridge with the neck and the middle, depending on how much you have it there. And you can do the same thing on the end, where you blend the neck pickup in with the bridge and middle. And so it gives it a little bit of a different tone when you do that. Right? Which is really cool, and something that I've noticed with this. Oh yeah, we're there. When you have this turn all the way up, when you're in that position 2 or 4, this kind of controls your quack and gives you much more if you wish to have it, which I thought was really neat. I mean, one of the things that Strats are known for. Anyways, it keeps. Oh my god, I just love how much it adds to that Strat quack. I mean, if people really are into that, and that's kind of their end game, I think a blender pot is where you're at. But I think it'll have the same effect if you add it to a regular Stratocaster, but I'll tell you what. I think these pickups sound fantastic together, and especially with this blender switch, being able to switch those in, because when you're in positions 1 and 5, where you're just running the neck pickup or the bridge pickup, you can also blend things in. So this is something cool that I found. I didn't realize how just trebly and harsh this bridge pickup was going to sound. I mean, this thing's got bite like I never heard from a single coil pickup before. I mean, holy crap. But I noticed that sound isn't for everybody. I mean, it works great with distortion or overdrive. I mean, it sounds great. It does a really good job there, but when you're in a clean, I mean, it's just very trebly and very sharp. Which can work, you know, if that's what you're wanting it to work for. But I found that the really cool thing with this guitar is with this blender knob, I can blend some of that harshness out. Which is amazing. I mean, it makes this guitar so much more versatile in what it can do. I'll be honest with you, I think that this is the ultimate Stratocaster. I mean, it gives you the ultimate range of tones, and it's very easy to control. I mean, it's not in some complicated format that you struggle with, you know? And it really wasn't that expensive to do that. I mean, I spent $200 for the pickups. They were, you know, brand new. The pick guard I actually had to cut myself, because you can't just put, you know, these pickups in there. They're all different sizes, each one of them. So I had to cut this myself, but it was only like 15 bucks. And then I had to cut it and drill it, drill all the slots and everything. The pots were a little expensive. They were like 15 bucks a piece, but I wanted to buy good stuff. If I was gonna make a really nice guitar, I felt like I should put the nice stuff in it, right? And that's what I did. I just put the nicest parts that I could find on there because I figured I'm building this myself. It's going to cost me, you know, a fraction of what it'd be if I went to go buy a brand new, you know, Fender guitar or even from someone else. I mean, it would be so much more money. I think total, once I added everything together, this guitar cost me like $345 to build. The second time, the first time was much cheaper, but that was also a long time ago. But the second time cost me about $345 to build. The only thing I didn't buy brand new, obviously, was the body because the body was there. The neck I bought brand new. It wasn't very expensive. It was like 40 bucks. I mean, not super fancy, but I made sure there's lots of suppliers online that you can buy, you know, guitar necks and bodies from. My biggest thing is I tried to just find somebody who has really good reviews and people go back to buy more. So that was what I looked for in people's reviews and stuff of their products was, are there luthiers or guitar builders that are going back and buying that stuff again? Because I understand $40 for a guitar neck is a great price. Go ahead and buy it, slap it on a guitar, sweet. But are they going to go back and do that same thing again after they've had that instrument for a while? Is that neck going to hold up? I mean, is it even going to be worth the $40 later on? And I'll tell you what, it's held up great. I've had zero issues. The frets feel great. This is the only thing with buying a neck online like that, though, is you will have to level the frets when they show up. They will not be level. Some crappier companies will not even will not even file the edge of the frets, so they will be awfully painful when it shows up. This one, thankfully, everything was done on. I just had to be leveled, which took some time, but once I got everything leveled and crowned again, I mean, it's great. And it's probably one of my most favorite guitars to play. And if you're wondering, I haven't put any logos on the headstock yet. I plan on putting my own name on the headstock since it's really not built with, I mean, I guess it's kind of built with Fender parts, but I mean, with the neck not being a Fender and all that, in all reality, if you build a parts caster, you probably shouldn't put Fender on there. I mean, you can do whatever you want. You can call it a Fender Stratocaster. You can call it anything you want. I've seen people put Fender and then put a different name for the guitar, something Fender doesn't even make, like a Murder Caster or something like that. I mean, that's a terrible example, but I mean, I've just seen people do different names on their guitars. I mean, it doesn't have to be Fender. So my plan is to put my last name on it and put whatever name I wanted to put on there. If I wanted to put Stratocaster, I put Stratocaster. If I want to put Stellacaster, I'll do that. You know, whatever I think I want to call it. But I just think overall it's a great guitar, and I wanted to share that with everybody. It was very easy. I mean, telly pickups with a matching middle pickup, and you have a really great Stratocaster. Something that people will be jealous of. I mean, I'll tell you what, my brother doesn't really like Strats, and I had him play this right after I first built it. And within 20 minutes, he was like, dude, this is actually a really nice guitar. Yeah, it is, man. And I mean, I'm not calling myself Mr. Master Guitar Builder. I wanted to try something and see what would happen, you know? You're wondering where that noise is coming from. So, again, you live and you learn. I've learned a lot in the last few years. When I had never had a really nice pickup, or at least one from the custom shop. This has 3 wires on it. So if you're wondering, don't try to be stupid. 2 wires are like normal, and they go in the normal spots. You know, you look up schematics and you can see right where they hook up. Depending on your configuration and what your wiring scheme is, they'll hook up differently. So Whatever your wiring thing is, you know, the two wires hook up right where they're supposed to hook up. There's a third wire that's coming off of this for the cover. You just attach that to ground. Now, I didn't know what I was doing, so I looked up a bunch of different schematics at that time to try to figure out where to put that third wire, and I put it not to ground. So that's why you kind of get that sound out of this guitar. But, you know, you live and you learn. So that's it. That's the whole video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I had a good time making it.